Howdy, gang. Hey, the poet. Hey, Stacy, Hope. My dear husband's in here too, Gory Tiger. Um, we got several people in here. I know Steve probably won't be in here as long as some of the rest of you guys and gals, because he's got to go to Betty Bye. So, but I thank him for coming in here for a few minutes. It, it really helps to have, some people that are not only showing support for the channel, but are enjoying whatever I am doing on here. And I'd just like to remind you, in case you weren't aware or had forgotten or didn't read the title or whatever, tonight's watch along film will be Black Christmas from 1974. I'm going to be watching from my Season's Greetings edition Blu-ray, and you can see that it is signed by Art Hindle, who played the boyfriend of Claire in the film. So if you're not sure who Art Hindle is, he's a great Canadian actor. I met him a few years ago at a convention, and he was very, very nice. So if you've never met him and you get a chance to, I'd suggest highly that you go up and meet him, because he's a really cool guy. Yeah, Hope. Let me put the link. Just give me just a second here. And I can, I'll do some housekeeping stuff, Hope. I'll always have you on here, Hope. I love having you on. Hope's a big supporter of the channel, and she's, my go-to girl. Anytime I need somebody on here, especially in a pinch, she's always willing to do it. And if anybody else wants to come on with me and Hope, and you are of age, I would I want you to be at least 18 years of age before you come on here, because I think the majority of us are adults on here. And I'm not saying that it's going to be really explicit or anything, but because we are adults, sometimes we curse a little bit and stuff. And I don't want to be doing that, in the vicinity of a person that's under 18. So I would like anybody that comes on here to be at least 18. So, and you got to behave somewhat, right? So that means you can't be taking your clothes off or talking, extremely explicit about things and stuff like that. So, and you just turned 18, Uncle Bill. I call bullshit on that. But Uncle Bill, if you want to come on here, I just put the link in the chat for anybody that wants to come on. Apparently the movie is on Tubi. Thank you, Hope, for mentioning that, and also the poet. So if you don't own a copy yourself, apparently it is on Tubi. Now, there's going to be commercials on Tubi unless you have the hacked version of Tubi that doesn't have the commercials. I'm closing some stuff out because sometimes that messes up my StreamYard whenever I've got a bunch of things open in the background or a bunch of tabs open and all that jazz. But we're going to get started with this movie here in just a little bit, but I'm going to get some housekeeping stuff out of the way first. Some of you that come to my channel often to see what I'm doing or what's coming up or whatever, or you've got notifications on, may have noticed a new thing that I put on there that I'm going to do tomorrow night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time, called My Path to Becoming a Positive Renegade. And I'm hoping that this is going to be both a fun and a positive experience for people. Where and I see Hope's backstage, and I'm going to be adding her momentarily, um, so that we can get started with this watch along. But you guys and gals know me; I blab on endlessly about stuff. Um, but I'm hoping that my path to becoming a positive renegade is a positive and an empowering experience for people, because I'm still learning, folks. I'm still learning how to be a positive renegade. If you want to know what that means, what that entails, or what it means to me, then be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is going to be chapter one of hopefully many chapters. Hopefully, this will be a successful series of streams. If it's not popular as a stream, then I may start doing it as a video. And if there's people that want to join me on any of these and want to talk about their path to being a positive renegade, I would love to have you on here, and we can, discuss some things back and forth. Um, Hopefully I won't have to put any of the streams that I've got upcoming on the back burner this coming week. I wasn't feeling too well last week, and I had to reschedule Insomnia Cure for the years 1982 to 1983. And I also had to reschedule my They're All Messed Up for Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary, and Strip Nude for Your Killer. But hopefully I'll have another Celluloid Trash coming up, and a couple other things in the coming weeks. And I know that, a lot of people might not be able to join a lot of these live streams or come to a lot of these live streams, because it is getting ever closer to Christmas. It's getting down to crunch time. I know people are going to be doing, last minute Christmas shopping. They may be traveling to visit family members or friends or whatever. So I totally understand that. But the great thing about YouTube is, if you can say there's one great thing about YouTube, is unless things just implode or explode or whatever, then this stuff will be here waiting for you, and you can watch it on the replay. So, hopefully, if you miss any of this stuff that you said, dang, I really wanted to watch that. Well, it should still be here. Should you want to watch it later on. I also have a new Commentary Chaos. It's a holiday Christmas edition of Commentary Chaos. So it's me and Steve with one of our old commentaries we did for Silent Night, Deadly Night. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. And there's a ton of other programming on there as well. And now I'm going to do my little spiel about the ways that you can support me and the channel, and it won't cost you a dime. Because as much as I appreciate super stickers and super chats and people joining the channel and people joining the Patreon and just like Menelec just comes in here and just gives me a super chat just out of the blue for different amounts. God bless Menelec. He's all, but as much as I appreciate that, I know that especially in this day and age, everybody's not made out of money, right? So there are ways that you can support me in the channel, and it won't cost you one thin dime. And one of the ways is by subscribing. And as I've been saying, there's never a bad time to subscribe to either my channel or anybody else's channel that you're enjoying their content. Hey, hit that subscribe button. Once you hit the subscribe button, guess what else you can do? You can hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content me or anybody else has got coming out, right? You can hit that like button on stuff you especially enjoy. And heck, if you like it all, hit that like button all across the board. And here's one more way that you can support me in the channel, and it won't cost you a dime, won't cost anybody you tell about the channel a dime. That's by sharing with friends and family members that you think might enjoy the content I'm putting out. Share with them my channel. And again, I'll do you a solid, so y'all don't even have to do any legwork. In case you don't know, my channel handle, I'll put it in there. And that's also my chat handle as well. So, all right. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and add Hope on here. Hey, Hope. Hope's got her nightgown on, it looks like. The sleepwear.
Yeah, I just woke up like maybe a few hours ago. I'm like, oh shit. And I realized you was doing this stream. I'm like, I want to see if she'll have me on there.
Oh, you know, I always had you on here. Hope needs to come on when I do one of the slumber parties, and we can both wear our sleepwear then.
Oh yeah,
I've got those Nighty Nightmare sleep shirts that I've been making. By the way, if y'all want a Nighty Nightmare sleep shirt, whoops, you can head on over to my Deadites on Deck shop at deaditesondeck.com, and I've got some different designs for the Nighty Nightmare sleep shirts. So if you want to get you one, get you an official Nighty Nightmare sleep shirt, you can do that now.
Get it now.
Get it now. Get somebody one for Christmas. Get your favorite gal one for Christmas.
Shit. I think I might do that next year. I might get a shirt for David off there or something.
Yeah. And you know, Hope, if you go on there and there's some design that you would like or you think David would like and you don't see it on there, just hit me up, send me a message on Facebook and say, hey, Dana, can you do this? And I'll work with you, because somebody asked me to do a Hellraiser design a year or so ago. And I did that for them.
David got me a Hellraiser shirt. He got it at the mall though, and because he's like, you don't really see a lot of Hellraiser merchandise. It's very rare. And I'm like, holy crap, because I like the sequels. I like the first one, but I like the second half of it. The first half I could just cut all that out.
Right. I got you. Now, see, I'm a person that likes the first two Hellraiser movies, and then the rest of them I could take them or leave them.
Even 3, I love 3.
3's okay, but my all-time favorites are 1 and 2.
2's good. I really like 2. 2 and 3 are probably my favorites, honestly.
I mean, I don't hate 3. It's just, if I was going to say these are my top 2 Hellraiser films, it would be the first one and the second one.
I just can't get past Uncle Frank. He creeps me.
Did I tell you about the time that, speaking of Uncle Frank, did I tell you about the time me and Steve went to one of the haunted houses here in Louisville around Halloween, and you felt like you were going to be molested by Uncle Frank, by the guy that was playing Uncle Frank in the haunted house, because he came up and he got really close to me and asked me something. I was like, nope, I don't think so. And we moved on to the different part of the haunted house. But Uncle Frank's a sleazy, creepy character.
Yeah, like I do. Like that's like I'm like, this movie would be so much better if he wasn't in here. Like almost more half of the movie's in the free. And like, I mean, I get it. He's the attack, one of the antagonists, or is the antagonist. But I'm like, I just like, get him off my screen.
Yeah, can we just black his face out? You probably don't want to hear him either because his voice is.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm good.
So I just wanted to let everybody know where I am queued up to on my Blu-ray, and we'll give everybody, a couple of minutes to get queued up. But I'm queued up.
I grew up now
too. 11 seconds on my Blu-ray where it says film funding in association with Vision 4 presents.
I need to get that. I need to get Black Christmas on DVD or Blu-ray, because right now I only have it on Tubi.
Yeah, did you see me showing mine? Hope that signed by Art Hindle?
Yeah, that's awesome. Like,
I loved meeting him. He was such a sweet, nice guy. We talked for a long time about how, the United States had a lot of things wrong, and Canada had a lot of things right that we maybe should be doing, but we weren't. He was Really cool guy. But we'll get started here in about a couple of minutes. I just wanted to give everybody that's going to be watching along with me and Hope
Yeah.
tonight.
And if you don't have the movie, it's on Tubi, so if you want to watch along with it as well.
But if you're not interested in watching the movie and you just want to come in here and hang out, that's okay as well. I don't have any, restrictions on that. As long as you're not being mean to anybody in here.
Yeah, we don't appreciate that.
You can't be mean to me or anybody I've got on here. You can't be mean to people in the chat. You got to be nice.
All right. All right, I got mine queued up.
All right, we'll give it about another minute or so, and then we'll go ahead and do the countdown. But I apologize, gang, that I was a little bit late because I got a bee in my bonnet at the last second and wanted to change my intro to a more festive intro, complete with Crazy Billy in the background of the picture.
Are you and Steve going to go see the new Silent Night, Deadly Night remake?
Steve hasn't said anything about it, and I haven't really seen any. I don't think I've seen any advertising for it yet. I guess you have, right, Hope?
I've seen the trailer, and apparently it's from the creators of Terrified, which that had me intrigued. I'm like, okay. I don't think they're getting Damien Leone to direct it. I think they just said from the creators of Terrified, which I'm like, he's one, so maybe he's a producer, so I don't know. But they said it's supposed to be gory as all hell. I'm like, I want to see it, but at the same time, I'm like, I know, next year, especially in January, that Iron Lung's coming out, which I want to see that.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned that to Steve today, and he said, "Nope, I ain't heard anything about it." I said, "Well, I'm intrigued by it. I'd like to go see it, and check it out."
From the I read from the premise and everything, it's based off a video game, ironically enough. But from I'm intrigued because it's made by a YouTube guy. I want to see what he has, because I've never watched Markiplier. I know he has a big following on YouTube and crap, which I'm like, okay, I'm putting that aside. I'm not gonna. I'm not judging off that. I want to judge you off as a filmmaker. And so far, from the visuals and from what I saw from the 3 trailers that are produced, I'm excited. This might be my most look forward to movie of next year, besides Terrifier 4 and Scream 7. It's not a sequel, basically.
Right. All right, gang. Well, we're going to go ahead and do the countdown, and we'll get started with this movie. There's just one movie tonight, folks. This one. So when we get done with this one, if there's not anybody that wants to ask any questions or talk afterwards, me and Hope will probably just tie things up and get on off here. But here we go. Let's do the countdown. We'll get this party started. Here we go. 3,
2,
1. Press play. And we are off and running here.
The Black Christmas logo.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful shot, by the way. I just wanted to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always big on filmography and how everything's shot and everything. That's beautifully shot.
It is. This is the cinematographer and I can't remember his name, but whoever the cinematographer was that Bob Clark had for this film was fantastic.
Now, did you ever watch the 2 remakes that came after this?
I did. I like the 2006 one. Okay, I like it better now, but the one after that,
Nobody likes that. The newest one, the 06 one wasn't bad. I liked it for the most part.
Now, Hope, I was just going to tell you, I mean, you can have the sound up a little bit, but if it's up very much, and YouTube gets wind of it, they may block this or something, block this watch along.
Right, I got it the volume on like 5, so hopefully that'll be all right. If you can hear it,
Okay.
just let me know. But hey, be all right. Because I get that whole copyright bullshit. Like it's
They'll get you even for the audio, you know, if it's a little snippet of music or something, they'll. Because I didn't even think about it one time. And I had somebody on here that was like playing, like it was John Carpenter's Halloween music, is what it was. And it didn't cause me to get a copyright strike, but I had to mute that part of it so that it wouldn't cause me to not be able to monetize something or something like that. So
yeah, I get it.
YouTube's finicky.
YouTube is
We could say a lot of things about YouTube.
I really wish somebody would come along and make a new YouTube or something. I really wish somebody would do that. I don't know why nobody has done that.
I don't know if they just don't want to go up against the current social media platform or what the deal is.
Right. I like the POV shot right here.
And that is actually, that shot there, I believe, is the cinematographer with the camera strapped to them climbing up that trellis.
That's cool. I like that.
And there is Miss Margot Kidder there, God rest her soul, and Olivia Hussey as well, who plays Jess in this movie. Both of those lovely actresses. I don't care what you say about Margot Kidder. I love Margot Kidder. And Olivia Hussey I've always loved too, but they are both no longer with us.
I heard Choker.
Mm-hmm.
The dude with the afro is killing me. He's just I haven't seen this movie. I believe it's been a while. It's probably been a few years since I last watched this.
Oh, I gotta watch it every year. Hope, did I ever tell you my story about the first time I watched this? I absolutely hated it.
No.
Yeah, so I'll tell Hope and I'll tell anybody else that's in here that hadn't heard me tell this story. So the first time I saw Black Christmas, you know, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even really know much about Bob Clark as a director or anything like that. And guys, gals, I'm not a prude, but when I first watched it, I thought, well, this is just vulgar. And I don't get it and all that. So I don't know what was wrong with me because now it's one of my favorite Christmas horror movies.
It's up there. Like it's.
So I waited a while and then it was coming on again. And I said, well, okay, it's been a little bit. I'm going to give this movie another chance, another watch. Go ahead, Hope. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That's usually what I usually give like a horror movie. If I don't like it the first, I usually wait a couple years and give it a second shot, and that's usually how I go about it.
Mm-hmm. So this time around, I was alone watching. I wasn't alone in the house. My parents were asleep. My brother was asleep. I was the only one awake in the house. And I was sitting on the floor in the living room in front of the TV, watching this in the dark. And I kid you not, folks, if that phone had rang while I was watching this movie, considering the content of this and that the killer starts out calling these girls, you know, I probably would have jumped out of my skin. I think it was a change of atmosphere, the fact that I was alone watching it and could really focus on and just the tagline for this, if this movie doesn't make your skin crawl, it's on too tight, is a very accurate tagline to have for this movie because it did indeed that second time make my skin crawl. And I don't know, I can't really, other than I was in broad daylight watching it the first time around, there were people around me and stuff like that. And it had to be the change of atmosphere.
Mm.
So it was also said that the more vulgar stuff that was mentioned, or the call when the caller calls, and I'm not going to repeat, but if you guys and gals are watching this movie, you know what it says on there. So it's an obscene call. Obviously, they start out as obscene calls. Some of the more nasty stuff was actually Bob Clark. And I just always thought that was so funny because Bob Clark seemed like the nicest man in the world. And unfortunately, Bob Clark and his son were both victims of a car accident that was not their fault. It was a drunk driver who hit them basically head on. And, yeah.
Imagine if he was still alive, what horror movies we would have got out of him.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And what comedy films too, because Bob Clark was also responsible for things like Porky's.
I didn't like Porky's.
I think Porky's is an acquired taste because the first time I saw the original Porky's, I didn't like it either. It was kind of like with Black Christmas. And then I waited a few years and I watched it again. I was like, yeah, this is funny.
I need to rewatch it then because I'm always down to rewatching films. If I didn't, I'm like, the only one I won't rewatch is the Child's Play remake.
Oh God, that's you and me are exactly the same on that. That is the most god awful movie I've ever seen.
I don't get why some people actually like it, saying it's good. I don't know why it's David, my husband, is the same. He said, "Oh, it's not that bad." I'm like, "Did you watch the same movie I watched?" Because I'm like, it's just takes the life out of the original. Like it loses all its. And
I just cannot understand why a kid that age, Andy Barclay in the original movie, he was like, what, 6?
Yeah.
That made sense for him to want this talking doll. But how old was that kid in the remake?
At least 11, maybe 12.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, first of all, this doesn't make sense.
Like, I mean, the only way I would rewatch it if we did a commentary for it, because it'd be an hour and 15 minutes me shitting on the movie.
Me too.
I think people get enjoyment out of that. Be like, oh, this is great. That hairstyle's interesting. I'll say that. The girl with the glass. I like her earring.
That's Andrea Martin, who was on SCTV, which was like a Canadian version of Saturday Night Live back in the day. And that the house mother there is Mrs. Mike, is played by Marianne Waldman, who was in a lot of Canadian films as well.
I think David's ever seen Black Christmas. I'll have to show him this movie.
Oh, yeah. I bet he'd like it.
He's very particular on his horror movies. So, like, he doesn't care for the original Halloween at all. I mean, he likes it, but it's like he likes the third one the best.
Now that's interesting. I'd love to have David on so he could talk about that. I'd love to have y'all both on.
That'd be nice. Yeah, he's the only time he's off is Monday and Tuesday.
Well, maybe we can set something up for a Monday or Tuesday at some point.
Yeah, I think he would like that. I think because he could talk. He can talk your head off.
That's okay. You know how much I like to talk.
Uh,
And Lynn Griffin here, who plays Claire, I just always thought she was so beautiful here. Of course, now she looks like a grandma, which she more than likely is. But I thought she was a very attractive woman in her younger days. She's not ugly now. She's just old. And
she's.
we're all gonna get old. So
I feel old.
hey, Mr. Joe, you say children shouldn't play with dead things was an early VHS rental for me. I haven't seen Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things for a long time, but I know what movie you're talking about. So the sorority girls have bought Mrs. Mike this ugly, god awful house dress or nightgown or whatever you want to call it. See, I always thought the idea of this, and this has been done in more than one movie, but especially back in the 70s and the 80s and even on into the 90s, when people didn't really have cell phones during those time periods. So what you had was either you didn't have a phone or you had a landline phone. And the idea that a killer could be holed up somewhere in the house with you and they're slowly killing off people around you
Mhm.
and you don't know it. And they're also calling you after they kill somebody.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just absolutely terrifying to
I,
me.
oh yeah, I agree. Especially like I feel like it doesn't work now, especially with cell phones and stuff. I feel like it takes away the mystique of it. But back in the day, like you getting a call on your landline phone, because I used to have a landline. You know, when I was a kid, my mom's had one. My mom and dad had one. My grandma and all them. But I couldn't imagine picking up the phone and someone's like, "I'm gonna cut you like a fish," or something. I gotta tell them.
Exactly. The poet, you say, what's your favorite Bob Clark film? Well, I think my favorite Bob Clark film would have to be this one. I like a lot of Bob Clark's films, but this has to be the absolute masterpiece, in my opinion.
This probably is my favorite one too, because I can't remember all the films he made on the top of my head. But
Stacy, you want to know what's your favorite holiday comedy? That one's a little hard, but I would probably have to say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is probably, if we're focusing on Christmas movies, and probably Home Alone probably runs
Home
close.
Alone, whichever one, Home Alone 2, I would say Home Alone, like the first two Home Alones, definitely. After that, don't bother with them because they get worse. But I like Macaulay Culkin's idea for a sequel. He coming back as the dad or whatever, and
Yeah, that would be interesting.
but it'll be him like facing his son, like his son setting up the pranks and all that, and him taking all the. I think that would be funny, but.
I also think Olivia Hussey was always a very attractive woman. Um, and she played Juliet in Romeo and Juliet when she was super, super young.
That's an interesting. That's the same room or same. I don't know what you call it. The same sleeping that my grandma would wear.
I mean, I hate to call it ugly, but it's terrible colors, and it's just like, oh, it's a terrible combination of things, is what it is.
I like the bathroom tile on the wall.
Yeah. I also like the fact that, I shouldn't say it like this, but basically the house mother is an alcoholic. She's got booze hidden all over this sorority house. She's got straight whiskey everywhere.
Why? I don't know. I'm asking. You're a grown ass woman. You're about what 70 probably in there. Like, why are you hiding the alcohol? Who's gonna tell you no? You can't have that?
Yeah, I know. She's got it hidden in books. She's got it hidden in the toilet tank. I mean, just
I
every.
mean,
And you know, these girls, if she's not wanting the girls to know that she's drinking, those girls know that she's drinking.
oh yeah, that scene right there with the bag in the mouth and just the dead eyes.
And that is actually Lynn Griffin. There, she spent a lot of time with a bag over her head with a hole poked in it so she could breathe. But that is Lynn Griffin, the actress there.
Ironically, this is it's a fun story about Black Christmas. This actually is the predecessor for Halloween. Halloween wasn't made. This was made before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think like, how much inspiration did John Carpenter get from this movie?
Well, depending on who you ask, he kind of, some people say he ripped off Bob Clark because there's a story that John Carpenter talked several times with Bob Clark, and he asked Bob Clark, if you were to make a sequel to Black Christmas, what would it be like? And Bob Clark told him, he said, I'd make it on Halloween and have Billy escape from the mental hospital and go back and start killing people. So people say, well, John Carpenter, Bob Clark never said, hey, John Carpenter ripped me off. Basically what Bob Clark said was, I put the idea out there. I wasn't going to make this movie. So how could I fault John Carpenter for going and taking that germ of an idea and making a movie?
It's not like the character's name is Billy, and he's like, it's not like a direct sequel to Black Christmas. But I mean, it'd be kind of interesting if somebody would do that. I don't know if somebody, a relative to Bob Clark, could make that happen. I think that'd be kind of cool, making a sequel this many years later of to this.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. Somebody did make a short film a year or two ago, maybe, and I forgot what exactly they called it. But it was all about Billy returning and menacing. I can't remember if it was, excuse me, if it was supposed to be Jess's granddaughter, that Billy was coming back and trying to kill her and her friends off. But it was really good for a short film. It didn't, like I said, it wasn't very long, but it was interesting.
I definitely would have liked to seen a sequel to this, but I think I would have liked it done within the next few years. Not now, probably wouldn't be as good.
I love how the house mother, how Mrs. Mike keeps trying to cover up all the nudity and stuff on the posters and on the wall because Claire's father is looking for Claire, and he's, I'm very disappointed in this atmosphere. He says, I didn't send my daughter here to be drinking and picking up boys. And I just love how, now I do. I love how Mrs. Mike is just so vulgar and stuff, and she just flips people off and stuff like that. She'll end up calling, and this is why I don't want anybody under 18 in here. She calls her cat a little prick at one point, Claude the cat, and and she just has other assorted, colorful terms that she uses throughout this movie. So she's making fun of Mr. Harrison here, and she says, tough shit. She says, am I supposed to be responsible for the morals of every girl in this house? And she said these broads would hump the Leaning Tower of Pisa if they could get up there. I always just thought that was fun. As an adult, I think that's funny.
Automatic protection.
This would not be a movie that you'd want to set a 5-year-old in front of or anything like that. Be responsible, people.
And it has encryption technology to help you. That's fine for kids. On the shortest straw in the holiday gift exchange. The call from Dad.
Yeah, this is where she calls Claude a little prick. The poor cat. It's a beautiful cat on here.
I think if you got a cat, you would name it that.
Claude.
Yeah,
I might burn either that or Church from
yeah.
Pet Sematary.
Cemetery. That's a good one. My cat's over there right now. He's on the couch.
My dogs are probably all resting in there.
That hat.
I know. But folks, you gotta remember this was 1974 when this movie came out. It came out the same year my parents graduated from high school and the same year they got married.
Yeah, let's see, this movie came out in, in 70,
74.
74. It'd be, oh God, it'd be quite a while before I was born.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause-
Hope always makes me feel old when she starts saying, well, I was born in this year. I'm like, oh gosh, Hope, I'm so old.
Like, you got, like, okay, this came out in 74. I was born in 95. So this movie, it would be like 2 decades before I was born.
You were born the year after I graduated high school, Hope.
That's crazy.
The poet, I think you're right. The poet's saying that short film that I was talking about is called It's Me, Billy.
I think that, I mean, I don't know why they didn't just go on full and just make a full length film. I guess because of the rights and crap. But
I like Jess's hat there. She's got this pink.
she reminds me of my grandma, except without the drinking problem.
Right.
My mom's mom. That's who that reminds me of. Like, calling anybody a little prick.
Now, neither one of my grandmothers did that. Now, my granny, my mom's mom, would have been appalled by a movie like this. She would say, "Oh my gosh," you know. She always, bless her heart, I love my granny. God rest her soul. She's no longer around. My dad's mom is no longer around either now. But my granny, I remember when she was in the nursing home and I came to visit her and I had my nose pierced and I think my hair was like a purplish color then. And she said, and I just laughed. I said, "Oh, Granny," because that's how Granny always was. She did whatever she thought came right out of her mouth. She didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings or anything.
That's who my grandma is. She'll say whatever she didn't think before she talks.
Right. And Granny said, "Dana, why do you want to tear up your face that way?" She was talking about my nose ring. And she said, "Why do you want to color your hair all these weird colors?" And I just laughed, and then she smiled at me. I knew my granny loved me. I knew that no matter what she said. Now, at this point, this is where the calls start to become more than obscene phone calls. And, they're screaming and yelling and just, I don't know. It's still, when I listen to the audio of this, it will still send shivers up and down my spine and get goosebumps on my arms because people can laugh if they want to. But just hearing that voice kind of change and twist and say, what did you do with the baby, Billy? What did you do with Agnes? And then all the screams and um, it's unnerving. And I think that that's what Bob Clark meant to do to people with those calls. And
Yeah.
the actor playing the cop there, the asshole cop, is Doug McGrath, who there's going to be a scene coming up, and I'll wait until we get to it to talk about it in depth. But I love Doug McGrath. That guy is so funny. If you've seen Porky's, you saw Doug McGrath in that as well. He played one of the gym teachers. And there is a scene in Porky's, and if you've seen Porky's, you'll know what I'm talking about, where they ask why this certain teacher, they call her Lassie. And the reason is if you get her up in the locker room where she, for some reason, she goes crazy when she smells. I'm sorry, folks, if you're offended by this, but like things like jock straps and stuff like that, she just goes crazy and wants to have sex. And then when she does have sex, she howls like a dog. And that's why they call her Lassie. And so she's having sex with the main gym teacher, and she's going, oh, like that. And Doug McGrath's character is just dying laughing. He's almost, peeing on himself. He's laughing so hard because he said, I guess he found out why they call her Lassie now. Okay, so this is the start of the whole thing about fellatio. And I'm not going to tell y'all what fellatio is, okay? If you don't know, go look it up. But the truth is, Doug McGrath did not know what fellatio was. So this scene that's going to be coming up is even more funny, knowing that he did not know what that word meant. And I just love Art Handel in this movie. He is the quintessential sweet boyfriend. To me, he's the boyfriend that all girls will want to have. I didn't tell Art Handel that whenever I met him, but I did tell John Amplas, who was in some of George Romero's stuff. If you've seen Martin, the character of Martin was played by John Amplas, and I had the biggest crush on John Amplas on Martin. Even though he was a vampire, he was just so sweet. And so when I met John Amplas years and years later, of course, I just blurted out. I said, I had the biggest crush on you when you were in Martin. And he was like, oh, it's so sweet. And Steve was just standing over there, like shaking his head, like, oh my God, I can't believe she's singing this to the sky.
I haven't been to a convention in a while.
I haven't either, really, Hope.
Like the last one was before COVID. It's been about 5 years.
Wow, it's been longer for you than it has me.
Well, me and David were talking about, but I told David like there's gonna be crowds, and he's like, I don't do crowds. He's like, he's not a big crowd person, so he's like, he would get very anxious and stuff. So I don't think he would be able to handle it or whatever. Because when we go out to like restaurants, like we went to Olive Garden like about a week or two ago, and he was just like uncomfortable as all hell.
It depends with me. Sometimes crowds make me on edge, and other times I'm fine. like I tend to be okay at horror conventions. It's just an aggravation more than it is anything where you're going through the conventions and you get bottlenecked and you can't move this way, you can't move that way, you can't move forward, you can't move backwards. There's people
Yeah,
everywhere.
I think he would have an issue with that. That but I don't like crowds, but I can handle them at conventions because I just focus on the stuff. Like I look around, it's all in all the stuff like that, and focusing on that helps a little bit.
So we're soon, before long, we're going to be, and there's the great John Saxon, who, God bless him, he's no longer with us as well. When you go back and you watch these movies, especially movies that are several years old, and you just look at the amount of actors and actresses that are no longer around.
I know it's sad. It's
Uh,
very sad.
Stacy did mention favorite 90s horror movies. And Stacy, I'm sorry I missed that earlier. But the poet mentioned Urban Legends and Scream. And I would have to agree with the poet on that. He says, I know it's hyped up, but Scream and Urban Legends.
Scream, yeah, because it's when I first watched Scream, and Dana's gonna feel old because of this. I watched Scream when I was a baby. My mom introduced it to me. She had my I don't even know what you would call when you put a baby in, like a chair or whatever. I don't even know, like what is it called? A seat or whatever you put a baby in. Anyway, she put me in front of the TV, and I watched Scream for the first time. And she said, "You did not walk away from that screen."
Was that your first horror movie, Hope?
Yeah, Scream was my first ever horror movie I ever watched in my life as a baby.
Yeah, it makes me feel old, but it's also fun to hear these stories about, because I always talk about the generational thing, because even though me and Hope, for instance, have differences of opinion on certain movies, we can also come together over certain movies as well. And I think that's um, an interesting thing, that just because there's a big generation or age gap between two people does not mean that people can't come together, like just like me and Hope come together over this movie. Or there have been other movies where Hope has said, hey, I'd like to come on here and talk about this particular movie with you. And she had the suggestion that we watch Terrifier 3 together, and that was a lot of fun. You know,
Terrifying is a good one. Yeah, I really like that. Was a fun watch for sure. And that was the first time I think you said you ever watched it too.
yeah, that was a first time watch for me for that one. Stacy, I have not seen Voodoo Moon with Tony Todd. Hope, have you seen that one?
I've never seen the only Tony Todd movies I've seen is Final Destination, and Candyman. Those are the ones I've seen from him.
Probably my favorite thing that he did, but I also love his portrayal of Ben in Tom Savini's updated version of Night of the Living Dead, 90.
There was I forgot he was also in the Hatchet sequels, Hatchet 2 and 3. I like those a lot.
So Margot Kidder's character, Barb, there was talking about a species of turtle that could screw for 3 days. And I think Margot Kidder gets all the best lines in this movie, to be honest.
I want that on a shirt.
I could probably make you one, Hope.
That'd be hilarious.
Have a turtle on there and maybe have a little cartoon picture of Margot Kidder saying, did you know there's a species of turtle that can screw for 3 days? Again, folks, this is why we don't want anybody really under 18 to be
Mm.
involved in these things because I don't want to get in trouble with anybody's parents. Goes, what was y'all talking about turtle screwing for 3 days?
Goddamn turtle screwing on.
But I am trying, and I told Hope about this, and I told Candace about this, and I have mentioned it to some of you guys and gals too. That I'm trying to put more, like kind of mixing it up a little bit and having cartoons on there, like the Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel stuff, the Spooky Dog and Sebastian. I want to have the Creepy Crawly Gang coming up. And those are things that I feel like that families could watch together, parents could watch with their kids, adults can watch them because, hey, cartoons ain't just for kids. I like my fair share of cartoons. But, I still watch Scooby-Doo and
Oh yeah, I can rock with some Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
I don't know if I want to know somebody if they don't like Scooby-Doo. There's something wrong with somebody if they don't like Scooby-Doo, I think.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo is just amazing.
Stacy, do you mean can I do Heathcliff like a design? I probably could do a modified design of Heathcliff that maybe doesn't look exactly like the cartoon because there's a fine line you got to walk with some of this stuff. Like my Spooky Dog and Sebastian is kind of a twist of Scooby-Doo. Instead of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, it's Spooky Dog and Sebastian. And Spooky Dog does not look, he's a great name, but he doesn't look like Scooby. He's all black and his features are different and all that. Oh, you mean a Heathcliff watch party? I could definitely consider it. I'm not against that. You say, or watch the holiday episodes or do different episodes of him and Riff Raff and Mango and Wordsworth, etc. Well, I will definitely look into that, Stacy, and it probably depends on whether I can find the episodes to watch or be able to give somebody a link so that they could, watch them too.
Right. I just like this. You could tell how like this is just a timepiece, just what everything looks like. You can tell like it was made in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Which I like films that like like they have that 70s like because it was made in the 70s. So it just feel like you could. I like movies like if you if you show somebody if I was in a film school or film class or whatever, like I'm going to show you a film from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And you could tell the difference between each movie because it's by the way people are dressed and the way they look.
Exactly. Yeah. Fashions and furnishings in the houses and all different, the way the TVs look and the way radios look, all that stuff.
I personally like the TVs back then more than the ones we have now, but that's just me.
I sometimes, as much as I love my 4K TV and all that, sometimes I miss those floor model TVs. I mean, there's something comforting and nostalgic about a floor model TV.
And I don't feel like they hurt my eyes as much.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I do wear glasses and stuff, but and my eyes aren't as good as they once were.
They want what is they want.
Exactly. But Hope is right. The high definition TVs now sometimes almost seem too bright, and they can, be harder on your eyes, I think.
Like if I could just find one of those bareback TVs but with an HDMI port and all that, I'd be set.
There you go.
Because I know there's somebody that I think you can buy them off eBay, and I know somebody that does them. I'm like, I'd rather have one of those than the TV we got in the living room. Like, I'll put that in the bedroom and have the old fashioned TV in the living room or something, just because I prefer that over the flat screens any day. And people are like, "Oh, you're crazy." I'm like, no, they're actually way better.
Now, Mrs. Mike just got taken out by Billy there. That was kind of a unique kill to me in that he pushes this hook thing and it just pulls Mrs. Mike up into the attic.
That's not one a big thing. I'm not wanting a big house. Is like there's only so many places that killer is gonna hide.
Right, exactly.
It's like you have a big house, you got to worry about every corner, every hole, and whatnot. I'm just like, no, I'm good. Like last night, I was taking a shower, and David thought he was gonna get me, and like he thought he was gonna scare me, but I was like, I turned around, I'm like, I got you, because he scared me once before, and I'm like, hi, I got you this time, fucker. He's like, I almost got you. I'm like, yeah.
Now, if you guys and gals had any doubt that that was Lynn Griffin with a bag over her head with a hole poked where her mouth is, right before Mrs. Mike gets killed, you see Mrs. Mike see Claire with the bag over her head sitting in the rocking chair and her eyes get real big. But if you look really close, you can see that plastic going in and out. And that's because Lynn Griffin is breathing through that hole in there. So if
Yeah,
you get pretty close, you can see it.
it's like you can only you can't tell them like you can't breathe in this shot. I'm like,
Yeah, I gotta breathe at one time or another. And I always laugh because you can clearly see Claire's body in that rocking chair in the upper window of the house. And nobody sees it, that nobody finds it this entire movie except Mrs. Mike, and Mrs. Mike gets killed. So she can't tell anybody about it.
it's because she's one of the best characters.
Mhm. So the body that's been discovered, they're actually looking for two people. They're looking for Claire, who's missing, and they're also looking for a little girl, Janice. And that's the body, unfortunately, that's discovered. There was a lot of green colored things, and it wasn't that pretty green back in the 70s. It was that god awful ugly green, like on the phones and stuff in here.
I like those old 70s retro. Like if I could have the apartment look like that. Like I was mad when they painted the walls because a friend of mine used to live at this exact apartment, and then he moved, and then they repainted everything. I'm like, you ruined it. I like the old paint. I like the old style better.
Well, you know what I hate? And I started redoing our cabinets in the kitchen, but now Steve says he's just going to buy all new wood cabinets. I was like, gee, well, thanks for telling me now after I did a lot of work on these. Somebody painted our beautiful wooden cabinets with white paint.
I hate that.
And I was like, oh, that you painted over this beautiful wood. So I took paint stripping material and I sanded them and I got most of them done. But like I said, now Steve says, oh, we're just going to get new cabinets. They're going to be all wood. And I was like,
I'm at the part where the lady is about to get the hook in her.
yeah, so I think you're a little bit behind probably because there were commercials and
That's the only thing bad about Tubi. You got the commercials and crap, so it kind of like puts everything off cue and shit.
So I'm at the part where Jess is, in case anybody wants to get caught up with where I'm at. Jess is calling. She just got another call at the sorority house, and so she's calling the cops. And somebody is walking down the steps. And we're going to find out who that is here.
I would put this probably in the top 5 best holiday themed horror movies of all time.
I think I would too, Hope. I mean, this is definitely one I cannot miss watching every Christmas.
There's a movie, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I like to do a commentary for it if you're down for it, and that's Eli Roth's Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, I would love to do that.
I've never seen the movie, so that's why I would like.
So you wanna do your first watch and do a watch along for it, Hope?
We can.
Okay, I'd love to see your reaction to some stuff. Thanksgiving, in my opinion, is Eli Roth's best movie he's ever made.
I might be able to get David to get on with that too if you want.
Oh yeah.
He's never seen it either.
I did a watch along for it, about a year or so ago, but I would love to do one where I've got several people on here with me. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think we're getting ready to come up on the second half of the fellatio joke. So I'm not going to talk about it just yet, but it should be coming up.
Because now since we got Paramount Plus, or not Paramount Plus, but it's on one of them that we have, so I'll be able to watch it. Because they're supposed to be coming out with a sequel to it next year, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. I mean, me and Steve actually went to the movies and saw Thanksgiving, and we did one of our Highway to Hells for it. Or I'm pretty sure we did a Highway to Hell for it.
You and Steve still have a landline?
No, Steve has never had a landline in this house. So when we got married and I moved in, there was no landline. Now, the people that lived in this house before Steve did, there are phone jacks where a landline probably went. But Steve has never had a landline phone. And both of us just have cell phones.
Mm-hmm. See, my grandma, she still has a landline. She refuses to get rid of it. She refuses to get with the times, as what we like to say.
Now, my mom and dad had a landline for a long time, but mom recently got rid of the landline, and now they just have cell phones. Because mom got tired of the way that AT&T was doing her with the landline phone. She just decided, nope, not gonna have it.
And I feel like by I say by probably the end of 2030, there probably won't even be any landlines anymore.
Probably not.
Which is crazy to think that.
And I keep telling my mom too, because mom does not want to pay bills online, and my dad doesn't really either. I said, but mom, you don't understand. If you and dad live long enough, we may come to a point where that's the only way that you can do it.
Yeah, my mom, she still pays bills through the mail. I'm like, Dad's just, why don't you just pay them through online? She doesn't know how to do it. I'm just like, well, I mean, I'm sure Dad can do it, or he can show you how to do it. Or I mean, because eventually that's what's going to come down to. Like, people just got to, accept the fact.
Exactly. Now, this is where Bob Clark inserts his particular brand of, some people might call it vulgar humor, schoolboy humor, high school boys in the bathroom, sexual humor, type of stuff. But I just laugh my head off. So John Saxon's character is getting ready to call the sorority house, and his I guess assistant or whatever is laughing like crazy, and that's because when Doug McGrath wrote down the phone number, he wrote down fellatio and then the number that Margot Kidder gave him. And so John Saxon's going to ask him. He says, Sergeant Nash, can I speak to you for a minute? And so this is where I said it's even funnier because Doug McGrath really didn't know what fellatio was. As a person, he did not know what it was. And he's telling John Saxon, he says, yeah, fellatio, it's a new exchange. One of the girls that was in here this afternoon gave it to me. And John Saxon's like, she gave it to you. And so that explains the look on Doug McGrath's face there. He's just completely clueless. And then he says, I know, something dirty, ain't it? And then the other guy just dies laughing. He's almost on the floor. This has got to be one of the most crazy boyfriends anybody could ever have. I was talking about Art Hindle being the great boyfriend, but Peter, Jess's boyfriend, when she tells him she's pregnant and she wants to have an abortion because she doesn't want to have the baby, he comes around to the sorority house and first of all, he breaks an ornament on the sorority girl's tree, and then he calls her a selfish bitch. This is a girl that a few minutes before you were saying, I want to marry you and all this stuff. Now she's a selfish bitch. I myself would not have an abortion. I couldn't have an abortion. And I'm not going to turn this into an abortion debate, but I'm just saying, I would not even pretend to tell somebody what to do with their own body.
Like I can't have kids, obviously, but if I could, I would. I wouldn't get an abortion either.
But that's just my personal, I just couldn't do it. I could not do it.
I wouldn't feel right. I know, if that's your way of doing that, that's you. I don't. It's not my thing. I couldn't do it. If I could have kids, I wouldn't do it. Just because I feel like it's hard to talk about without going full on, political with it. But I wouldn't do it personally. I wouldn't do it myself. That's just me. But you do you. If that's how you want to do it, I'm not gonna condemn you for doing it, but I'm not gonna do it myself.
Exactly. And that's all we'll say about that. But I just wanted to bring up the fact that he's got to be the most insensitive boyfriend on the face of the planet. The exact polar opposite of Art Hindle's character. This I always found funny. The lieutenant, John Saxon's character, comes to the sorority house and he's up in Claire's room and there's a glass. I never saw Claire drink anything. When she came into the sorority house near the beginning of the film, I never seen her with a glass of anything in her hand. And so he finds a glass in her room and asks the other two girls, he says, did she drink very much? And they're like, Claire, no, hardly any at all. Whoops. I lost hope for a second there.
Oh, there we go.
And I believe this guy here who's tapping their, oops, I lost hope. Hopefully I can add her back here in a second. But the guy that's tapping from the phone company that's tapping the sorority girls' phone for them is, I believe, the guy that's selling the Christmas trees on A Christmas Story, which is probably my second favorite Bob Clark film, which is also a Christmas film, but it's a funny Christmas film, whereas this one is a horror one. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully Hope will come back before the end of this. Because we're about an hour into the film. Hope, if you can hear me, I will put, just in case you need the, oh, no, Hope's back. Okay, I was going to put the link back in there. Let me add her back here. Hello, Yen.
David just he texted me saying I can't talk right now. She's on a warpath, I guess, meaning his boss is on a warpath.
Oops.
I'm like, why is she there this late? It's fucking 8:29.
Yeah, exactly. But I was just telling everybody that I think my second favorite Bob Clark film is also a Christmas film, but that's A Christmas Story.
Oh God, he made that.
Yep, he did that one too.
I think okay. This is where I'm like, I think in my opinion that is the most overrated Christmas movie ever made.
Really, I remember the first time I was introduced to A Christmas Story. I was a freshman in high school, and it was around the Christmas holidays. We were just about ready to get out for Christmas holidays. And my English teacher that year showed us A Christmas Story, and I fell in love with it. Excuse me, folks. I've been sneezing like crazy lately.
I don't hate it. Like, I can watch it, but it's been when you play it on TV 1,000 times and watch
I think TBS and stuff, that's overkill. 24 hours of A Christmas Story.
That movie, and I never want to watch it ever again. And I by far don't want to watch the sequel because it looks like garbage.
I think the sequel is garbage, but the original I like. But I do agree with you, Hope, that I think that by showing 24 hours of A Christmas Story on like TBS and stuff for many, many years, I think that has spoiled that film for a lot of people. I don't think they should do it.
It killed it. Like, I don't want to ever watch it again. I have no desire to watch it ever again because they ruined the movie. You can't play a movie as much as I love Terrifier 3, but if they played it nonstop for then I would get burnt out on it. Like certain things you can only watch so many times before you're just like, okay.
Yeah, that's been done to death. you get to that point where it's just no. So that's why when they show it for 24 hours, I just stay away from it on like TBS or whatever. But I will watch. I think I have a 4K of it now. I want to say I have a 4K of it now.
Yeah, I've been watching a few years, so I might give it a watch because I haven't seen it in a while now. But
what I was telling people when you were away for a second is the guy from the phone company that was tapping the sorority girl's phone was, I believe, the same guy who was selling the Christmas trees on A Christmas Story.
Which is crazy that Bob Clark's the one that made it. He has a big range when it comes to movies. This killer Christmas movie with a lot of brutal scenes, a lot of sexual innuendos, but then you got A Christmas Story, a family friendly, goofy, like comedy or whatever you want to call it. It's crazy. His range of film that's amazing.
With the fantastic Darren McGavin on A Christmas Story playing the dad. I love Darren McGavin.
speaking of A Christmas Story, I think it was one of the bullies from the movie. I'm actually, I was friends with him on Facebook for a long time, and I think recently since I deleted that old account, so I haven't. I need to re-add him or something. But I was friends with the guy from A Christmas Story for a while.
That's cool. I think, there may have been one or two of those guys that were very active on social media.
Hmm. Ironically, he sent me a friend request, which I thought was crazy, and I'm like, oh, you're the guy from he's also in Freddy versus Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very nice. I wouldn't mind meeting him at like a convention or something.
So, Barb, Margot Kidder's character, apparently, this is the only time that they mention asthma in the movie. You're not even aware that Barb has asthma, except at this one scene where Billy starts to come into her room and she thinks it's a nightmare. And she thinks the nightmare is what caused her asthma to act up. But that is the one and only time that you see the inhaler, you see her gasping for breath. She mentions asthma. I just thought that was kind of odd that, this far into the movie, that was the only time it was mentioned.
Hmm.
We're about an hour and 2 minutes into the film. So, hey, they look like my curtains. They look kind of like my curtains in my living room.
I really love those curtains, by the way. I saw pictures of those on Facebook. I'm like, those are nice.
I'm trying to remember where, because I think my mother-in-law bought them for us. And it's been several years ago, but I love them too.
Yeah, we got black curtains in our living room. They're the blackout curtains.
Mm-hmm. Steve likes to have blackout curtains because he doesn't want any light coming in when it's not supposed to.
I get that, because especially because we got double wide doors in our living room, and and they now just added a lamp outside, which I don't know why they did that, but I'm glad we got those blackout curtains before they started that, because that would be I couldn't sleep with that light just blaring in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. So I think this is a great shot here too. Barb's death scene, where Jess is, the Christmas carolers have come and she's peeking out the door and she's listening to these kids sing. And that's interspersed with Barb being killed by Billy, with one of her blown glass unicorns with a very sharp horn on it. It's a very visceral scene too. Once Billy actually starts stabbing her with it. And two, the reason why I like this original better than I do the 2006 remake, even though I like the 2006 remake better than I did the first time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I hated it. I had to go back and watch this one again to cleanse my palate. But when I watched it a few years later, and I liked it better then, but still, I think that they explain Billy too much. I like the way it's presented in the 1974 version because you don't know that much about Billy.
Yeah.
Other than him and his sister must have done something that they shouldn't have. Maybe they got together and killed some people. You just don't know. And there's a lot of unknown variables. But when the 2006 version came along, they tried to explain all of Billy's backstory too much. And I think that they explained a little bit too much, and it took away some of the creepiness of it.
That's why a lot of people have a problem with the Rob Zombie, how they will explain his backstory too much. I'm just like, I thought it was well made.
Well, I like some of Rob Zombie's other movies. I love House of a Thousand Corpses, and some of some of the stuff like that I like. But I just I don't want to say he was messing around with Captain Spaulding. I don't want to say that because he didn't ruin John Carpenter's classic. The problem I think comes from, and this happened to me when I went to see the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, which I didn't like, by the way. But when I was standing in line waiting to get my refreshments, my popcorn and my drink before I actually went into the movie, there was a young woman with her boyfriend who apparently had never seen 1984's Nightmare on Elm Street. And she thought that this movie was the only Nightmare on Elm Street. And her boyfriend was telling her, no, there was a Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984. So that's what bothers me, that sometimes people don't realize that there was another film before this remake that you're seeing. And I would like people to be able to, oh boy.
Yes, we got it on Blu-ray. Me and my husband actually both enjoyed this movie a lot. A lot of people hate it, which, that's.
Well, I would have to say I hate it, but I also say to each their own, I'm not going to argue with somebody or call them stupid, because everybody has different ways that they view movies. And so you should never tell somebody they're stupid just because they don't, like all the same movies that you do, or they like a movie that you hate.
How do you feel about steelbooks?
My thoughts on steelbooks is, me personally, I don't have to have everyone that comes out. I'm discriminate about which ones I get. They have to have really cool artwork before I get them. I'm not going to just, oh, this is a movie I love. It came out in the steelbook. But if it has a shitty cover on it, if it has shitty artwork, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to pay money for it. But Steve's, this is the only thing that I know for sure that he's getting me for Christmas. I don't know what the other stuff is, but he's getting me the steelbook of this movie. And I was like, oh, yes, this is kind of cool. It's got badass artwork on it.
Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
I might have to look on eBay. I might pick that up, actually. If it's not outrageous, that's,
I don't think at Amazon it was that outrageous. It could have been close to $40, but sometimes that's about average for steelbooks.
Mm-hmm.
I just was noticing this. Behind your head, that's a Rocky Horror Picture Show poster, ain't it?
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite movies.
I love Rocky Horror Picture Show too.
I don't know if I ever told you this story. When me and my husband first got together, he first saw me. He's like, "You look dead up, like from the hair to the way I was dressed that night. You say you look like fucking the fucking, I can't name his name, Tim Curry from Rocky Horror Picture Show."
So you look like Dr. Frankenstein.
That's what he thought. Is like, oh, you must love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. At that time, I was like, I've never seen it, and he was like, bullshit. I'm like, no, I've never seen it. And then we finally got around to watching it. When we was together for a while, and then we finally got around to watching it. And I absolutely love that movie. Yeah. That's a movie I would love to do a commentary for.
Well, we'll do one. I did one, but it was years ago, and I'd love to do one with you, Hope, because I know that it would be fun.
It'd be probably my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
And Rocky Horror Picture Show, the first time I watched it, I didn't hate it, but I didn't really get it, and it took me a second watch before I was like, yeah, this is an experience. Rocky Horror Picture Show is an experience, but you got to be in the right headspace to watch that movie.
I recommend watching it when you're like, if you smoke a certain stuff, then you'll have a great time with it.
Well, or maybe you're drinking a little bit if you drink.
If you do drink, then drinking also would be. It's a fun movie. Like, I kind of wish they would come out with a sing along edition. I think that'd be fun.
Well, the last time me and Steve watched it around Halloween, and we both got the Steelbook edition of it this year, and we watched it, and we were singing along with the songs and stuff, and it was just a lot of fun. And then, let's see, 2, 3 years ago, when it got close to Halloween, I never got to see a live version of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I always wanted to. I always wanted to have that experience, but I got the next best thing. We went to see Rocky Horror Picture Show live with a shadow cast. And what that is, in case somebody doesn't know what that is, they show the movie, but there's a shadow cast that actually acts it out in front of you. And it was really, really fun. There were people dressed as Magenta and Columbia, and there were people dressed as Dr. Frankenfurter, and I just like.
I don't know if you're. I don't know if you're. I don't know if you collect pops or not, but they're releasing all of those characters in Funko Pops.
Oh, cool! I do collect some of those. Yeah.
I got 2 of them. I got the Bride of Chucky and Chuck, like that set. I also got a Art the Clown pop.
Oh, of course, you got to get that one.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Black Phillip from The Witch. I've got Carrie. I've got Danny Torrance from The Shining, and I actually had Danny Lloyd sign it a few years back, who played Danny Torrance in the in Kubrick's version of The Shining. Oh, I've got a Stephen King one as well. I've got a few more too, but
Yeah, I used to have a whole bunch of them, and I sold all of them. And here recently, I got back into them, but I only get ones I absolutely want. David's just like, we got only so much room, and like, get the ones you absolutely like. He's like, okay, like if you just get the ones you absolutely want, then that, like, but make sure you absolutely want these, the ones you or whatever. I'm like, all right. But I really want the Rocky Horror, all of the Rocky Horror stuff, because I love that movie so freaking much. And the only thing I got collecting wise is the poster. I need to get it on Blu-ray.
yeah. I mean, I had the Blu-ray. I think I had a DVD and I had a Blu-ray, and now, of course, me and Steve both have the 4K and the Steelbook edition.
Oh, look who it is!
All right, here's the kitty.
Yeah, we have like a burnt DVD copy of it because it was just, I was like, oh wow, we have it already, but I want to actually get an authentic edition of it.
Right. Hope, if you don't mind, I'm sure you won't. I'm going to go out of the stream for just a second. I got to take a restroom break here. I've been drinking too much energy drinks over here. So I will be right back. And for those of you guys and gals in here, I'll let Hope keep y'all entertained for a little bit.
Hey everyone, let's see if anybody's got any comments. No comments to look at. There's our tree right there. But I might make a corn dog because I am hungry. There's our South Park characters and all that. There's our other horror characters up there. There's Chuggy. That's signed by Brad Dourif, by the way. Or do I want a pizza? I might do a pizza. I feel like that'd be easier to make than doing corn dogs. I'm gonna make a corn dog. I'm hungry as hell. Trying to do this with one hand. Making a pizza. Put it on too. Oh, my hair is all wild and crap. Yeah, there's the Rocky Horror Picture Show poster that Dana was talking about. Yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love this movie so much. It's like really dark in here. Y'all, apologize. It's so dark in my living room. I hate it.
Well, it's dark in here at my house because I can't do but one or the other, either have the light on or have this little space heater on. Because you got to plug these space heaters into the wall. Otherwise, if you plug them into a power strip, you're liable to have a fire. Just a little word of warning for anybody that's got
Yeah, because
a space heater.
we have some kerosene heaters at my parents, and I thought about bringing them over here, and Dave was like, "I don't trust those."
You got to be very careful with a lot of this stuff. These aren't exactly kerosene; they're just little. They're little, about this tall little heaters, but they pull a lot of power. So I found out the hard way. I mean, I didn't start a fire, but if I hadn't noticed, it might have caused a fire. I was plugging these into my power strip, and then I realized that the plug was getting super hot and it had melted part of my power strip. And if I had let it keep doing that, it would have definitely caused a fire.
Oh, that's crazy. I might make some coffee. I'm in the coffee mood.
I made some hot cocoa, some homemade hot cocoa a little bit earlier.
That sounds good too.
You can make it in the Instapot. If you have an Instapot, folks, you can make you a big batch of it up real easy. So, gang, we're getting ready to. We're an hour and 18 minutes into the movie, and this is only an hour and 37-minute movie. So, we're getting down to the wire on this. We're getting down to the last quarter of it, which is really going to kick into high gear. This is my absolute favorite part of the movie, and it's the scariest and most tense because they're going to figure out where the phone calls are coming from.
That's Billy. I can't remember if you told me I think you say you're not a fan of coffee, right?
Well, I used to wasn't. And then I would drink only like cold coffee drinks like frappuccinos and stuff like that. Now I will drink hot coffee. So, you get older and there's another Terrifier thing with Art the Clown. I love that Art the Clown with the flowered glasses.
Yeah, I like that too. That's the the backpack my husband got me for Christmas. Yes, y'all, we opened our stuff early. I know everybody's gonna be like, my mom. I messaged her, and then she's like, I can't believe you opened them early. I'm like, yeah, because there's no adults here.
Yeah, y'all do what you want.
Exactly.
It's not like y'all got kids right now, and you gotta keep things secret.
Exactly. Well, David's kid. We're going on Christmas shopping for him Monday. Have him come over. Probably, I don't know when. Probably the week of Christmas or the week before Christmas or something. He can open his stuff and all that. But we're doing that for him. I got a shirt coming in the mail for him, a Terrifier shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
That's one thing me and him both like. Me and his son can talk about is Terrifier and Art the Clown and all that.
So, Sergeant Nash, Doug McGrath's character, is going to call Jess here. And this is at the point where he's been told not to tell her that the calls are coming from inside the house. But Jess is going to put him in a position where he has to tell her because she wants to go and check on Phil and Barb, who are supposedly upstairs. But as watchers of the movie, we know that they've both been killed at this point.
Which is crazy that they because a lot of movies don't really kill off children and stuff. But this movie, Bob Clark didn't give no fuck. That
He
seems
was,
to be a shirt.
he was hardcore.
That could be a shirt. Bob Clark don't give no fucks, and then have like a knife through like a Christmas tree or something. I don't know.
So, you know, Sergeant Nash is telling her, he's screaming, you know, Miss Bradford, don't go upstairs, you know. The calls are coming from inside the house. And of course, Jess is going to do what Sydney and Scream says is a stupid thing to do, which actually it is. Some girl goes upstairs when she should be running out the front door.
Yep.
Goodness. I don't know what it is about being back here in this room, but lately when I'm back here, I just sneeze like crazy.
Maybe it's dusty.
It could be. I'm not the best duster in the world. It could be a combination of drier air because of this heater I've got running. It could be dog hair because I do have 5 dogs. We have dog hair everywhere in this house.
Same with cat hair with us. Every clothing I have has cat hair probably on it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I put on a shirt and in 10 seconds it's got a carpet of hair on it.
It's annoying. I'm like,
I love my dogs, but I don't love all that hair.
yeah, that's one thing about any pet that has fur. It's like you're gonna get hair on you regardless if you want it or not.
Right.
Come here, Callie. And we on the stream.
Hey, buddy.
Say hi to Dana.
I know sometimes you guys and gals will see my dogs on here. The kitty looks like its eyes are glowing at some points.
Don't eat my pizza. Now you're knocking crap over. Get down. Come on. Or at least get away from the phone.
Now this shot of the one eyeball looking through the crack in the door is one of the most terrifying things. And then of course Jess tries to close the door on Billy, and he's just enraged now. And in a second, he's just going to grab hold of her hair. Yeah, there's the shot. This is so tense because you know, especially if you're watching this for the first time, you're going to think, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, is he going to get her? Is he going to kill her too?
Yeah, it's a very disturbing flick. I remember when I first watched it, I was just having goosebumps and crap.
Yeah, definitely. It's one that'll you would have to have nerves of steel, I think, if this doesn't give you shivers.
Does Steve like it?
He likes it pretty well. I don't know that he likes it as much as I do. But he will watch it from time to time, just not as much as I will. sometimes I'll watch it 3 or 4 times in the season. I can't get enough of it.
If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's Tang.
I love Tang. I haven't had Tang in a while.
I like it just because it's like it keeps me hydrated. Like I like it a lot. David's not. I mean, he'll drink it, but he's not too fond of it. He doesn't like that artificial orange, I guess.
Oh,
But
well,
me,
I think it takes me back to when I was a kid too. I would drink Tang when I was a kid.
Mhm. I like Tang a lot. It's refreshing. But he did say he had mine yesterday. He said it was pretty good, so I think he likes it. Sometimes he likes it. I think he has to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, but I could probably drink Tang right now if I had some, because, like I said, I haven't had it in a while. It would probably taste really good.
Yeah, we just get the powder and just pour it in our cups
Mhm.
or whatnot.
I also like Sun Kissed, and I like Orange Crush.
Now, Sunkissed, yes. Orange Crush is kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I think the reason why I love Orange Crush so much is because when I was a kid, and I don't know if your family did this or not, Hope, but my family, at least on my dad's side, would get together and everybody would make ice cream. Remember when everybody was getting those ice cream makers and you had the ones that you turn the crank and you had the electric ones? Well, my dad had one that you turn the crank to make the ice cream. And my grand and my papa had an electric one. So they would make vanilla ice cream or whatever. But sometimes dad would do, excuse me, sometimes dad would do vanilla, but other times he would do orange sherbet. And I absolutely loved it because he would, goodness gracious, I think this energy drink's coming back to bite me now. But dad would make the orange sherbet or sorbet, probably is the correct term. It's not, I always called it orange sherbet, but it doesn't actually have an
Sherbet.
R in it, folks. So dad would make it with orange crush. And I think that's probably the reason why I like the orange crush so well.
Orange Crush, baby. But yeah, here, like, Tang.
Ah, dang. Brings me back.
Yeah, like, I'd rather drink that than soda, honestly.
It's probably better for you. In fact, I know it's better for you than soda. See, I also like the fact that you never do find out who Billy is. You know, you have, you have red herrings and you have some people that look suspicious, but you never do really figure out who Billy is. Well,
Uh,
Stacy, best Craven movies, probably my all-time favorite Wes Craven movie has has to be Nightmare on Elm Street. But I like a fair amount of Wes Craven's movies.
Mine would be Scream 4.
Scream 4.
The
If
last
I
movie
had
was
to say Scream, I would probably say the first Scream movie.
Scream 4 just because I saw it in theaters
Hmm.
with
I
my mom.
saw the original Scream in theaters, but Hope wouldn't have been able to because Hope was a baby then.
But me and mom saw Scream 4 in the theater, and I just remember that. So we made a tradition to see every Scream movie in the theater, obviously, except for the first three because I wasn't old enough.
Right.
I saw 4, 5, 6. We're going to be seeing 7 when that comes out later this month. Later in the next 2 months, I think it's supposed to come out.
Your mom must be like my mom always was. I credit my mom mostly for getting me into horror movies because she was really, really into horror movies when she was younger.
I say my grandma and my mom, because she's the one that got me into Scream. I love Scream. Like David's not big on Scream. He's like it's okay. He's like the only good one he said is the first one. I'm like, I mean, this is like my franchise basically. Like even though I was a baby when the first one came out, it's like everybody has like they grew up with Friday the 13th or they grew up with Elm Street. I
Yeah.
grew up with Scream.
Yeah, well, that's a good franchise to grow up on, though. I mean, there could be a lot worse franchises that you could grow up on, than
Yeah, you got kids
Scream.
now. Their franchise is Sharknado.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
Because they're like there's 6 movies and they're doing a prequel movie now.
Oh Lord.
That's something you need to get. I think they got the first 6 on 4K in a box.
I don't know if I want to spend my money on that.
Have you seen any of them?
I think I've seen a couple of them. Maybe two. Oh,
I try to get David to watch. He's like, I ain't watching that shit. He's
but
very.
I went to the IMAX and saw Piranha 3D with my cousin Heather. So
That's a good movie. I like that movie.
that was fun. It was fun.
That's a remake. I don't know how I can see how anybody could say the remake was bad. It was fun. It was over the top. It was what it meant to be.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Like if you hate that movie, you're just like a stick in the mud. I think. Like that movie's just fucking hilarious.
I mean, me and my cousin, we just had a ball, and that was the first Highway to Hell I ever did. That was before I was with Steve or anything. And me and her went to the IMAX and saw Piranha 3D and did a Highway to Hell for it.
But yeah, my favorite was probably definitely Scream 4. Then it would probably be the original Scream would be second place, probably.
So we're going to find out here towards the end of this that they assumed that Peter was the killer, Jess's boyfriend. And of course, Jess thought he was the killer too, and she killed him. But we're going to find out that Billy is not dead. He's still up in the attic with the corpses of Claire and Mrs. Mack, who nobody has found yet.
I'm pissed they killed off Mrs. Mack. Like, I would
Yeah.
have her as like have her in her spin-off movie, the Mrs. Mack movie.
There you go.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
Done is let her go to visit her sister and come back and find out all the sorority sisters are dead except for
Oh
Jess.
God, that's creepy.
Mm.
I'm at the part where he's looking through the eye, the creak in the door. Oh my God,
Yeah, that is very tense and terrifying. Yeah.
Like if I saw that, I'd probably scream, cry, and just be like, I don't know what I'd do.
And then he grabs her by the hair and pulls her head back and stuff like that. It's just absolutely terrifying.
Gosh. And then the constant yelling and not understanding what he's saying, just this really puts you in a vulnerable. I'm gonna have to definitely have to show this to Dave. I don't think David's ever seen Black Christmas ever. I think he'd like it.
Yeah, I think he would too, and I'd love to hear his thoughts.
Either he would like it or he would absolutely hate it and say it's dog shit. But I don't see him saying that about this. I think he'd like this one.
You'll have to let me know if you get him to watch it. Hope you'll have to let me know what he thinks of that.
I will be like, You come on and talk about it. You like,
Yeah, exactly. Come on,
Well-
Dana's show and talk about it.
because I showed him Sleepaway Camp and he hated that movie.
The original Sleepaway Camp. He hated.
Yeah. I'm like, I thought it was good.
I
But
love the original.
he said it was just, he's like, he thought it was stupid. I'm like,
Now, Return to Sleepaway Camp was a different story. I'm like, I don't know what happened to Robert Hiltzik between making the original Sleepaway Camp, making Return to Sleepaway Camp, but you want to talk about dog shit. I think Return to Sleepaway Camp was dog shit. Sorry,
I-
Robert Hiltzik.
I didn't hate it, but I can see why people hated it. Like, I thought 2 and 3 were really good.
2 and 3 I enjoyed. I remember that was back in my video rental days that I watched 2 and 3. I actually saw 2 and 3 before I saw the first one.
See, I saw the first one first, so then the twist ending, which a lot of people would think I would get offended by the ending. I mean, I grew up with that. I mean, yeah, I grew up with it technically because I remember my uncle had it on DVD and he gave it to me or whatever. And I remember watching. I'm like, so I mean, I watched it before I transitioned, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna watch it because the ending or whatever it offend. I'm like, no, I thought it was a good movie.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody was intending to offend anybody, whether whether they were transitioning or whether somebody is gay or bi or
Anything, it's a like a good for like I think that'd be a cool video to do the history of trans and horror movies or something like that. I think that'd be a cool video because that would be on that list of Sleepaway Camp, the first one. And
right.
technically the sequels, if they I don't know how much they get into it a whole lot, but
I mean, I don't think that Sleepaway Camp really gets all the credit that it should get, even at this late stage, because there were people in the early days of me having the internet. I started hearing that there were a lot of fans of the Sleepaway Camp series as a whole. And Jeff Hayes was one. I think he still does the sleepawaycampfilms.com website. And he brought a bunch of the people together, Felissa Rose and Robert Hiltzik, the director, and a bunch of the other people that were in the films. He brought those people to like Fangoria conventions and stuff like that. So,
like if I went to if I went to a convention, I would be like, it was this was a pretty honor to see this movie and actually just the way it was made and everything like that. It was before the times.
yeah, exactly. Now things are, pretty much more out in the open. But back when Sleepaway Camp came out, it wasn't.
But did you hear the remake in Sleepaway Camp?
I thought I heard something about that.
I'm curious because the Keenan. I don't know if you know who Keenan Com. I think it's the guy who played Fat Albert. In the live action movie, the Keenan Kel.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The big one, the heavier one is directing it.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm curious. Are they gonna? Is it gonna be like? Okay, are you gonna go from the original? Like, is the character gonna be trans? Like the killer or whatever? Because if they do that, they're ballsy for doing that. I think I would be all 100% to do that. If they don't do it that way, I'd be like, okay, you're kind of like, I feel like you got wet feet on it then.
Yeah, because in this day and age, I would expect somebody to go full on out with that and just go ahead and do it the way you want to do it. Don't hold back and try to do it the safe way. I guess would be the way.
It'll lose any credibility. Like the moment they say we're not going to go in that route, I'll be like, I'm not going to probably watch it then because that's what's the point? Everybody knows Sleepaway Camp for the twist. If you haven't seen the movie or got spoiled by that twist, when you see that first twist, you're like, holy crap. Because I was terrified when I first saw it.
I was like, I think I just sat there and I was like, okay, what did I just see there? And I think I did run it back. It was like, okay, yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I thought I saw. But I was not, maybe some people were offended by it, but I was never offended by it. I thought it was an interesting way to end up the movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a great. In my opinion, it's a horror movie that doesn't get its recognition it deserves.
Mhm. And it was what was creepy about it was crazy Aunt Martha. She was completely off her rocker. That child did not get a choice about what they wanted to be. She just went in and took a young boy and like just had this surgery done. And the boy had no say so about it. She just said, well, we already have a boy, so another one just wouldn't do. So, we can. I'm like, woman, you're nuts.
Oh god, it's a unique. It's such a good horror movie, and I David didn't like it, which I don't know. I'm like I think like if I tried, let's watch Sleepaway Camp. He's like, I ain't watching that. I'm like, just give it another shot. It's like and the sequels are really good too. So
Yeah, yeah, and I think Felissa Rose was great in the first film playing Angela, but I think Pamela Springsteen was just absolutely fantastic. I wish Pamela Springsteen would talk about the movies. I wish she would,
did you
talk
not talk
about.
about?
She will not talk about the Sleepaway Camp movie. She's never been to a convention to talk about them. No, she
Sucks.
yeah, and I want to say, honey, that there's a big fan base for
You
your
can make a shit ton of money. Maybe people would get the 2 and 3 posters signed.
Mhm.
So
Apparently, she doesn't care. I mean, she is Bruce Springsteen's sister, so I mean, maybe she just doesn't care about those movies
I,
anymore.
I always wondered why the original woman from the first one didn't come back for the sequels. Is there a reason behind that? Did she stay?
I was thinking that Felissa Rose, she may have been going to college at the time that the second and third one were being made. That was part of it, I think. And also,
I'm sure they had to ask her, hey, do you want to come back for the sequels?
I think too that Michael A. Simpson, that made the second and third ones, I think he wanted to go in a little bit different direction with the film. And I think he wanted to go with somebody that was slightly older than even Felissa Rose would have been at the time. Because Felissa Rose was like all of 12 or 13 when she did Sleepaway Camp. And
I didn't think she was that young. Holy shit.
she was one of the youngest on that cast. I mean, she made a lot of friends with some of the older kids. But and she was spunky and stuff like that. She wasn't at all like the Angela character. And speaking of Felissa Rose, gang, if y'all have never met her in a convention, please go up and meet her. She is one of the sweetest people in the whole entire world. I met her and I just absolutely love her.
I would love to get to talk to her about Sleepaway Camp and just just what was going through your mind making it.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
That's a movie I'd like to do a commentary for, like the Sleepaway Camp, the first one, and the sequels. And if you want to sit through that one movie, the Return to Sleepaway.
I maybe could with you and me doing a watch along, doing a commentary over, but that's probably the only way I could watch that one again. But yeah, I would be up for it. Maybe this coming summer, maybe we can try to do some watch alongs for
Sleepaway
those
Camp.
movies.
I need to get the box. I used to have the old box and I sold it. I wish I didn't.
Did you have the Red Cross box set?
No, I didn't have that one.
See, I've got the Red Cross box set, and I won't get rid of that because
I
they
think
may
that goes
not
for a
sell
crap
them.
ton of money, don't it?
I think it goes for quite a bit of money now, and the only way that I would sell mine off is if I was starving to death or something like that, and I had to get me some food, or had to get some insulin or something like that. You can't do without your medication.
Right.
So I didn't want to get off of here, Hope, until you had reached the end of the movie. I know I was a little bit ahead of you because I didn't have commercials and stuff. So, and if anybody, me and Hope have just been kind of talking back and forth. If anybody that's still in here has any questions or wants to ask me and Hope something, keep it clean, folks, though. Don't be like asking any
Yeah.
super personal questions.
I just got done with the movie. It still holds up. Still a great horror movie. It's like I said, beautifully shot. Probably Bob Clark's best movie he's ever made. I think a lot of people would agree. It's a shame that he didn't get to do more in the horror community, in the horror film. Like I only know him for Black Christmas. Did he do any other horror movies?
I'm trying to think here.
I like to go watch them.
I'm probably forgetting something. Hold on just a second. Let me. Google is your friend and IMDb is your friend. Oh goodness. I must have drank that energy drink too fast tonight or something. Is it just...
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Oh goodness gracious.
Oh, I think he did. Shoot, you were talking about horror movies. Now I got the daggone hiccups. Well, he did direct Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, which is I think that's a good low budget one, Hope, from 1972.
Is it on Tubi? If it's on Tubi, that'd be what you can just do a commentary.
It might be. I would give it a try looking it up on Tubi. And he also did Dead of Night, which it was also called oh shoot. Oh, what was the other title? Other title of it. Shoot, my brain is not working at all today.
There's a good holiday movie for you. Boom. There's a classic right there.
Death Dream is the other title for Dead of Night. It's about a soldier comes back from Vietnam and he's dead, but his parents did the monkey's paw type thing and wished him back alive.
Oh yeah.
Comes home, he's basically like a zombie.
They got Terrifier 3 on Tubi.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, that's funny. They couldn't have been on there when we was doing the fan commentary.
I know. Remember, I was watching the wrong movie.
He was like, I don't think this
What
is
the
right.
heck is this?
They also have the mean ones on here. Have you seen that one yet?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
I
would have to get hiccups right at the end of this thing. Bob Clark also directed Rhinestone with Dolly Parton and Sylvester Stallone from 1984.
Interesting.
He did Baby Geniuses, which is a comedy movie.
Wait, the one from I thought hold on the one from 05?
He did the one from 1999, and then he did Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2 from 2004.
Interesting.
And I guess the last film he directed was Blonde and Blonder from 2008.
Oh, so he died probably in like what 2008?
I think so. Oops. Ah, what the heck? I hate when stuff like this happens. Yeah, he was born in 1939, died in 2007.
Oh, speaking of movie, there's a movie that you need to check out. It's a Tubi original.
Uh-huh.
It's called where is it? Oh, what was it called? I think you would like it. It's a weird ass movie. I think it called Trap. Was that what it was called? But that's one I like to see. I like to for us to do a commentary for just as your first time watching it, because you're going to be watching and be like, what the fuck is she making me watch?
Well, if I didn't say that about Terrifier 3, I probably not say anything about, because think about the stuff I've watched, Hope, over the years. So some of the stuff people think, what in the world, Dana? Why are you watching this?
Maybe it's not called Trap. I'll have to find it and get back to you. But I thought it was an interesting movie.
Well,
it's called Match. It's called that's
Match?
what. Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't let me forget about that, Hope, and we'll try to, get something set up. Oh, interesting.
A Tubi original, so it's going to be a gem.
That's right.
Which I like it. I give it like a solid 9 out of 10. It's a solid flick.
Okay.
It's different.
Have you watched that Man Finds Tape?
No.
Me and Steve watched that yesterday. It's interesting. It's like kind of like a found footage type of film.
I'm just looking at these movies on Tubi right now, and they got the movie on here called Big Bad Mama 2 from 1987.
Well, I guess since it doesn't look like anybody's really saying anything in the chat or anything, that I guess me and Hope will go ahead and tie this watch along up. But I want to thank, Stacy and the poet and Mr. Joel, Gory Tiger. My dear husband was in here at the beginning. He's asleep now. I knew he wouldn't be in here very long, and Uncle Bill was in here for a second. But I also want to thank Hope for being on here and being my lovely co-host tonight. As we navigated through Black Christmas from 1974, and hopefully we'll be doing many more of these. Actually, I think I've got another poll for a watch along coming up. Take a look.
What are the movies so people can go vote on that? Because I'm about to go vote on it as soon as they get off.
Yeah, definitely go vote. We've got Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, Don't Open Till Christmas, and Pranks, aka The Dorm That Dripped Blood. And it looks like Don't Open Till Christmas is in the lead right now.
I've never seen that, so
I think you would probably like Don't Open Till Christmas.
I might have to see if it's on the Tubi.
It might be. If it's not on Tubi, it might be on YouTube. But be careful, because there was a version on YouTube that was cut, and I don't want to tell anybody to watch the cut version, because that's that's completely useless.
We used to have our music teacher that would edit movies and show them to us, like the musical like movies. But he did one for Phantom of the Opera. It was so cut to hell, and it was really bad.
You were probably like, "What in the world are we watching? I can't even make sense of this."
Like he was just cutting all the if they had nudity, he would cut that out. Bad language, he would try to cut that out. I'm like, you just can't do that. It ruins the movie.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think. I mean, I'm sure there was nudity, but I wouldn't think there'd be too much bad language in Phantom of the Opera. But
Yeah, it was the remake, or he's like, I'm like, if you're gonna show us a Phantom of the Opera, show us the original.
yeah, there you go. Show a classic there.
Yeah, because I probably would have loved that.
But again, I've had a good time tonight, and I hope Hope had a good time. She seemed like she was having a good time tonight.
Oh yeah, I had a great time. I love doing these.
And if you didn't get to join us tonight, like I said, you can catch this on the replay. Sometimes the watch alongs don't get a lot of watches whenever they're being shown, but I'll see, sometimes I think the Terrifier 3 watch along we did had over 400 views on it after the fact. So
Oh yeah.
that one did really well. And they're always better when I've got somebody on here with me.
Yeah, you got somebody to go off of and stuff. It helps.
Bounce things off of and have a good time. And it's just better. It's just better than just me just droning on and on about the movie and not having anybody else on here with me. So, but I guess me and Hope are gonna tie things up, and I got a few things I got to do before I get settled down completely for the night. And Hope's probably got a few things she's got to do before David comes home, and I'm sure.
Yeah, like no, I mean, I'm hoping he takes me to the gas station because I'm out of smokes.
Oh no, you don't
This
want
girl-
to be without that.
Yeah, like that's how and now I don't have a cigarette with my coffee, so that's a no go.
And that's like me being without some sort of caffeine. I got to have my caffeine.
I get it.
But anyway, I guess we're going to go ahead and get out of here. But as always, I want to remind everybody to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. And also, I forgot, I'm off like a dirty shirt, and so is Hope. But our shirts ain't really dirty, but we're off like a couple of them. And also, again, be kind to one another and blaze that trail.
Might just be nice to one another,
Yes, we definitely need more niceness in the world and on social media. And I'm going to talk more about that on my Positive Renegade stream tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to, join me for that if you feel up to it and have some time. And also, if you love Ozzy as much as me and Hope do, get out there and blast some Ozzy and see. I love that Ozzy tattoo that Hope has. And try your best to live the Ozzy way. And what do I mean by that? I mean, don't stay stuck in the past, folks. Move forward from the present into the future, but don't worry about the future. And don't ever, ever give up on your dreams. So have a fantastic rest of your Saturday night, folks. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.